Okay, here we go. Come over here. No, 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 no.
Oh, okay.
Don't try to run away from me.
All right.
Hey everybody, I got Jeremy Klassner, my good buddy, one of my best friends here for years. We went to physical therapy school together. He has just surpassed, and he's got his master's in business, he's got his doctorate degree. He's just been an amazing friend to have, and I'm embarrassing him like crazy right now, so I'm sorry, Jeremy. But anyway, I want to bring him up. We're up here in down here in Dover, Ohio. We are at a park. What's the park called?
The Norma Johnson Center.
The Norma Johnson Center, really cool place. You see a pretty big view. But these hills remind me of a trip that Jeremy and I took. Kind of reminds me just a little bit of when we went to Colorado, and Jeremy ran a half marathon up Pikes Peak. So that was really crazy. And I actually went along with him because I was afraid he would die, and I didn't want him to be there alone and when he was going through all the turmoil and suffering. But needless to say, he handled it like a champ. So I thought it would be cool to maybe interview him a little bit, see what his mentality was like. You know, some of us face other challenges in life, whether it be sickness, dizziness, trouble at home, trouble with family, trouble with friends, or maybe we're just training to try to be the best athletes or best people we can be. People like this who push their bodies to the limit, I think there's something good we can learn from. So Jeremy, if you don't mind, I just want to ask you a few questions. He's kind of embarrassed by this.
For those of you at home, don't ever invite Andy over to have dinner, because he'll make you stand in front of the video camera and talk.
Don't worry,
saying.
Nobody's listening to this.
Okay.
You're fine. You don't have to worry. So anyway, Jeremy, when you were on the mountainside there, when you were going up Pikes Peak, you were mountain mile marker, was it 12? I think you mentioned the air was getting really thin. How did you handle the feeling of just whether you could continue on, or did you have that kind of feeling?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you're doing Pikes Peak and you're going up, the Pikes Peak ascent is about 13 miles up. You start in the base of Manitou Springs at an elevation of 7,700 feet, and you're running to the ascent of Pikes Peak, which is 14,100. At about 10,000 feet, you lose the tree line. Not much grows after 10,000 feet. Not a good idea to be running above 10,000 feet because there's nothing growing there. At that point, your heart rate is increasing significantly, and you just can't breathe. Now, living in Ohio like I do, you can't train for that.
No.
You can't
That's
work for that.
Point.
You can't train for that. So I did the best that I could. Sometimes it was a fast walk. Sometimes it was just kind of go as fast as you possibly can. But when you get in those kind of situations, when you're at that position, when you're those views, you just kind of have to push yourself. And I didn't win. I finished, and that's what I went out to do, was to finish. But sometimes you have to give a little bit more than what you want to give for the future of the views that you're going to have, and that sense of accomplishment.
So that's great, Jeremy. I think you know, a lot of people would say, well, I can't walk 1 mile, or I can't run 1 mile on level ground. So to do it up mountainside at that high is pretty amazing. How would you compare the type of training you did when you think about our patients or people that are watching this and they know that they have a Pikes Peak in their life? Maybe it's an obstacle of some sort, a disease that they're battling, or just a feeling like they're really going to have to be challenged to kind of overcome something. Is there a way to kind of think about your training and what advice you could give them on how to kind of work through some of those challenges?
Yeah. There's a saying that says, "How do you eat an elephant?" And the answer is one bite at a time. And so in order to accomplish something big, and whatever your big might be, maybe it's walking around the block, maybe walking a mile, maybe running a 5K, whatever your goal is, it has to be done in small increments. So in order for me to run an event that was a 7,000-foot incline, I started by, in my local town, running the stadium stairs and just running up and down the stadium stairs, trying to get ready to train. Or I would run up and down hills, or I'd run at different speeds, trying to prepare my body to do something that I didn't know if it could do or not. It did, but I started with very, very small increments.
Awesome. That's great advice, Jeremy. Well, you'll probably hear more from Jeremy in the next few months, few years. Hopefully we'll pull him into more videos. Jeremy, thank you for your time. And